Hello everyone, I'm Lemmy, and welcome to my director's commentary for the Halloween special, also known as The Mystery of the Forgotten. Now, the story behind this movie is a rather interesting one because it actually was started out as a Pokemon plush series that I did with Link Plays back in the day. Basically, near the end of the series, episode 8 or so, I believe, we went into a haunted house, and the door closed behind Link Plays, just like it does with Moomy in this movie, and I just realized that rhymes. And also, as he goes upstairs, he sees like something creepy up there or something, just like in this. However, all those videos have just been lost. But you're probably wondering why Big Bird is a freaking girl in this, because I have to address the elephant in the room. Well, here's the thing. First of all, this was actually kind of based off a series called Unicorn, which I filmed for like a good half a year before I just suddenly stopped. And then with Zabam, around like Halloween-ish. Yeah, it was actually Halloween exactly. Right before we went out to go trick-or-treating, that's when we stopped filming because we had to go out trick-or-treating, then we just stopped Unicorn altogether. Then we never filmed again, at least the two of us, until like 2021, but this was back in 2019. And yeah, because of COVID, he didn't come over again, and also we got into a little fight over something stupid. Of course we're fine now, but point is, he couldn't really come over for a long time. So, yeah, I kind of discontinued Unicorn I didn't know when I'd bring it back, but I decided to in like 2021. But the thing is, Big Bird in that series was voiced by my cousin, who's a girl, and for some reason, I guess that's why I thought Big Bird was a girl, and also sounded nothing like Big Bird. But then I found out Big Bird was a boy, so I just made a male Big Bird. It's like, oh, they replaced the female Big Bird, and it was also Big Bird's husband, and oh my god, that series was a riot. I finished it in like late 2022, but you guys don't care about that. You're here for this movie. This right here is a good friend of mine, Leah, who's been on the channel a few times, mainly for Spyro videos. But they were just driving by, and we were like, hey, you guys should be in the video, because I wanted to put everyone in this video. And that pumpkin was a pumpkin I got from, like, the local pumpkin patch. And it was like Plumpy Jr., what did they do to you? No one would get that joke because I hadn't even released the pumpkin patch video at that point. Here it is, here's the part. Just like in the Pokemon plush video. Although, my mom... Oh, sorry about the buffering. I don't know what's going on with that. My mom was actually the one who closed it, but this time I was the one who closed it. Also, it was a lot darker, the lighting, in the original Pokemon plush video that this was based off of. Although it's supposed to be like some atmospheric noises. But this movie originally had a completely different plot. Also, the fan turned off there, that's why I said, oh, frick. This was just, that drained organ thing's just something we came up with on the spot. Just like how this was, Max, in being in the movie. But this was actually meant to tie into, like, this stock market warfare plotline I did with Big Bird, and Moomy. Or Moomy was a character in that plush universe, and Curious George was like a business rival of Big Bird, and yeah, originally he was supposed to steal the secret stonks, and that's what would tie the things together, but we eventually just kinda stopped for like a year, and I'll explain that in a minute. But that freaking Unicorn series has like 47 episodes, four side episodes of the Origin side series, 4 short episodes. It was a freaking huge deal. I told him to not fall in a dirt position, and it was supposed to do a thumbs up there, but it just gave up. I actually was about to give Swedish subtitles to this video, because this came out back in Halloween as like a 6-minute video, and ended it off with like, oh, the rest of the movie's behind closed doors, and did a little stupid scare. It's like, let me in, let me in. This was me. I was wearing that mask filming upstairs, and we projected it onto the TV using some crazy extension cord thing. But as you can see, you're probably wondering how the Christmas tree's there. That's because this part was filmed in December. I, for some reason, thought the entire movie could be finished in Halloween, and that's why it was called the Halloween special. And then I ended up finishing in April, like 2 years later. You see that? You see that? You see that car right there? That was 2 years later. 2 freaking years later. And now you're about to see Moomy get killed off. It basically, we just stopped filming the movie for an entire year because I was like, off and on, like, come on, Moomy, do this with me. He's like, I don't wanna. So I'm like, frick it, you'll just be a dead guy. And he's like, I can get behind that. This part's stupid. So I'm like, I'll be a different main character, Joshua Jonathan. Although it was actually supposed to be Joseph Jonathan, I think. The whole point was that he was like a security guard. It's like a JoJo reference. But, I hadn't even watched that much of JoJo at the time. I just knew about, oh, speaking of Moomy, he's literally playing Minecraft as we speak. In his while he's dead. Yeah, of course, there's the stupid part. He was actually listening to music the whole time he was a dead body, so that's why there's AirPods in, and I wanted to make fun of that fact. Of course, he didn't mind. He liked playing a dead guy. That's his. That's not his cat. It's just a cat on the phone. Don't ask. But the beginning of the movie was filmed in like October 30th, 2020. Then the next part where he's looking at the full moon, and he's already on the porch of the house. That was filmed in midway through November, I believe. Where I also filmed the parts with the Wicked Witch of West Virginia, all of them, by the way. So that's why later on, that's why well, here he is, the man himself, Joshua Jonathan. He was just a character I came up with, and I'm like, I want to make him a jackass. So I did. He's just absolutely does not give a shit about anything he's doing. So yeah, you can. That's why there's a sudden shift in main characters. And at this point, we're filming like February, 2022. That part where Moomy was looking at the TV, that was December 2020. So we didn't film after that again until, yeah, that was not scripted. So I'm surprised he didn't react more. He plays a really good dead guy. That's a really weird compliment. And also, this was not scripted. I really just wanted to, I don't know, I often get ideas while I'm filming to do really stupid things like that. And so that's what a lot of this scene was. It's just me getting ideas on the spot for this. Honestly, the house was a mess, and we just left the pizza box there, but of course I incorporated that into the script as well. Again, a lot of it I just wrote as I went. It's that happy Valentine's Day. Oh my gosh, so it was after Valentine's Day. Shit, I should have removed that. I just noticed that for the first time. Cheerios, that's, of course, we gotta make I used to make cameos for that in every single freaking video of mine. Also that, gingeritis. That was a stupid joke that me and Moomy came up with back in like 2020 or so while we were playing Minecraft. Because we drank so much ginger ale, it was like a disease. Gingeritis, we were addicted to it. Gingeritis makes you want to drink more ginger ale. I don't even know what that was. I think Moomy just left it there. This point, I had a funny idea, like, I'm gonna go on the computer. At this point in the movie, this was supposed to be when they discovered the secret stonks, but I'm like, ooh, what if I did that cool creepy pasta where it's like, ooh, 666.com, and it's all demonic. So I decided to do that. And then I was like, wait a minute, what if Moomy comes back to life as a demon, or maybe he'd suggested that, and then this plays out, and I showed this to my drama teacher. It was awesome. Happy birthday. I don't know why that was there. Oh yeah, that. Oh, pretty much all of this stuff was filmed in the same day, even though a lot of it was, yeah, a lot of this stuff was filmed the same day, like the Joshua Jonathan and the, I think, exorcism stuff this was all the same day. I warned him in advance, like, that's why he took off his jacket. Because he didn't want to get it wet, so I'm like, dude, I'm gonna pour water straight on your face. You sure you're okay with this? And he's like, yeah. And yes, it was a bit worse than he thought, because he's, oh god, you could hear him say, I'm like, nah, I shouldn't clean it up. I love Josh Jonathan, he's such a jackass. And that's why I keep using him, because he's just so funny to write for, and so spontaneous. He subverts the viewer's expectations. As for this part, I just kind of kept getting more and more ideas as I developed this character. Again, as I went, I didn't really plan for Joshua Jonathan to become the main character. I just kind of came up with it on a whim. So I'm like, oh, what if we did a winding staircase here? Because I was like, well, there's got to be something evil and haunted at every corner. It's weird they addresses his parents here, because one of them is canonically dead at this point. Even though he's acting as if they're not. And that's something he consistently does, even after we see his mom die, which I think is kind of hilarious. Moomy is still filming at this point. And this looks really awkward. Show me you got demonic house. And this is Big Bird's scene. This was actually meant to be filmed in the other bedroom, which is why Wicked Witch of West Virginia was in there. She's like, Big Bird's in there. But so I just went to a different room. It's like, oh, there's a portal in there or something. But keep in mind, this was filmed over, I don't know, 2 years apart. And like these scenes happened back to back. Moomy was, that was Moomy. Moomy had an idea for this part. You'll see in a sec. And he's still, yeah. He was the one who called me, and I used a freaking cow from this one zoo we went to as the picture, just for when he called me. Hey girl, that made Moomy laugh. His name on my phone is Google Gaga, because I think he was using my phone without my permission, like he normally does. We were on a car ride, I think, and he just said Google Gaga. And I guess came out as Google Gaga, and it's been like that ever since. Siri still addresses me as that, which is weird. And at this point, it's like a month later, and now my mom is filming, because my friend's like, nah, I don't want to film the rest of this. So yeah, my mom's filming now, and we're like, wait, what if we can cover up his arm with the blanket? So I decided to do that. Oh god, here it begins. So you see that little, like that freaking rooster head thing I did? Well, that's something I just happen to frequently do after I say lines that I'm like proud of. That just happened to be there for this line. Jason's the name of the killer Freddy Masked Man guy, so that's why I referenced him. That's like a glam rock. It's not glam rock Freddy. It's like something like Freddy. It's like pencil I got. I don't even know where I got it. Whatever. That was back when I was super into getting FNAF plushies. This is supposed to be a reference to Undertale, where they say there's not a mint on top of my pillow, mint under my pillow. But then I'm like, but my mom's like, isn't it mint on top of the pillow? So I put the mint right there. This entire part with getting the treasure, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, no, the treasure was originally like to hide the evidence of the secret stonks, but of course I dropped that, and I'm so glad I did, because that would have been so freaking stupid, because I showed it to this movie to my entire family, and oh my god, that would have been so embarrassing, but luckily I didn't do that. I made a family-friendly version of this, because some of my family doesn't like, swears, and but that was after I showed them, so I just kind of had to mute it when when I sweared when I showed them all. Oh yeah, I don't even know why I put Chica there, and I just grabbed like, what's something I could stick Chica's face in? And I found that. The Yosemite shirt. I just found it, and I'm like, yes. I was just wearing it. I just happened to be wearing it when I was playing as Joshua Jonathan. So I'm like, this is his shirt now. I want to keep consistency since I'm playing since I'm also playing other characters. See those? Oh yes. You see what I mean? Though you see those planets. Oh yeah. Okay, now Max has a haircut because it's actually April now, and this is one of the last scenes we filmed because. Oh god. So my friend, we were at Whitetail, Pennsylvania. We were on like the escalator thing, and we were like, we should make this a parody of every horror movie ever, which I was already kind of doing. So he's like, what if someone comes around the corner? And that's why I added this part. And it's a Breaking Bad reference with the falling in slow motion. I hadn't watched Breaking Bad yet. Nor had I watched JoJo. Actually, I did watch JoJo Part 1. This is my grandma. Hello, Grandma. I think she just happened to come over, and I'm like, hey, you want to be in this? And she's like, okay. And so it's been everyone who's in my family just laughs when they watch this. Because of this, especially in this part. And I'm like, you're the Crimson Babushka from, like, Siberia. I don't even know where I got that red scarf from. I think I told my mom that I wanted her to be the Crimson Babushka, so she found one, and I'm like, okay. And earlier upstairs, you could see planets in that one bedroom. That's because I used to sleep there, and I always had memories as a kid. My parents would get me to sleep and tell me about the planets and stuff, and it was really magical. But this was filmed in 2020. Was filmed in 2022, and now we're back in 2020. You see the problem here? Well, yeah. I just happened to have Kathy here for this, and it was actually daytime out when I filmed it with Kathy, and it was nighttime when filming my parts. But I somehow made it work. Because I kind of acted like, ooh, it's actually a thunderstorm, and it's just constantly flashing light, even though that makes no sense. The Wicked Witch of West Virginia. I think it was originally just the Wicked Witch of Virginia, but I wanted to make it rhyme more, or alliteration, I mean. I said, forbid to myself here, goodbye, my pretty. It just happened to be windy out. I got lucky. Now, since we're in the Forgotten at this point in the movie, I should probably explain what the Forgotten even is. So, back when me and my cousin were really, really little, I just found that there, and I'm like, ooh, this would be funny for the video. Same with the medicine ball, which I said was a basketball. Yeah, right there. I remember using that for like a Waluigi plush video with Link Plays. It was so stupid. It's like, oh, take this medicine, shove it down your throat. I love that spiny doctor. Anyway, I'm going on a tangent, but my point is, my cousin came up with the Forgotten, and it always came up when we were playing plushies. We didn't record it back then. We were just playing with plushies, because we always used to. She was kind of like an older sister to me. This part is actually a reference to Hat in Time, when you listen to conductor DJ Grooves talking in the background. And this was actually meant to be, you could hear, it's actually meant to be Bill Cipher talking to one of his minions named Lieutenant Briggs. I don't know anyone who actually heard that, because I purposely wanted to make it hard to hear. My mom didn't know what I was doing when she was filming it, so she banged on like the pipe nearby, so it also sounded like someone was crawling, which was cool. Around this time, oh yeah, he was also there. Around this time, I was also filming the Plushverse series, which I only did like one episode of, and I began a second episode, where they had to go free Roy from the Forgotten. And I'm like, what if I connected it? He's like, tell his adventurers to go away. I was actually referring to, that's an AA coin. I was referring to Megumin and Ezio and Lemmy and Iggy. They actually had to free Roy from the Forgotten, but I never ended up doing that, and I actually wanted to make it and after watching, like, I think it was, like a Heist with Markiplier. I'm like, what if I had it in multiple endings? But I never did that, and I never even got past the part with Megumin, like when she was first introduced. Instead, I just finished off Unicorn and they killed Bouncy Puppy, and like send him to hell. And Red Panda, even though he said he was going to hell with Bouncy Puppy, he just kind of stays there because I realized at the last second I didn't want to kill off Red Panda. But anyway, this isn't about Unicorn, but the point is that we also used the Forgotten in that, because Roy had fallen in the Forgotten. And that's why it was like that. Bill Cipher, I think I had planned for Bill Cipher to be in it, I believe, after I introduced Joshua Jonathan. I'm like, it would be cool if he was the one behind it all, because I just really love Gravity Falls, and I feel like I did a really good impression of him. And I was using a voice clip, and if you look closely, as I jumped the camera down, you could see the freaking video clip I was using. I was like, oh, I gotta run out, because the point of the Forgotten was that when you're in it, everyone else outside forgets about you. But I think I was the one who added that you also forget things. Although I didn't really utilize the part about people forgetting you, but you have to be there in a very long time for people to forget that you're in the Forgotten. I don't even remember if I explained that in the movie. I should have, but when one's in the and I keep reusing the Forgotten because I still think it's an amazing concept. Now we're back in 2020 again. Jeez, this is why the movie took 2 years, because I just kept on. It was just because my friend didn't want to be the main character, and it took me a year to decide that I should just be the main character instead and kill off Moomy. We're in April at this point. This was before the part where I dressed up as Connor Kenway. I got my AA coin back. I never explained why he wanted it, I just used it. You can literally see April on the calendar. So I had to make it canonically take place in April. This also canonically takes place in Charleston, South Carolina. This is like this is a house, like, people say it's haunted. It's actually where a bunch of cats live. But I thought it would be perfect to use it for my movie, so I decided to go inside right here while we were walking, me and my mom. And I'm like, oh yeah, that should be the end. And it ends, and I was like, he was never seen again. I remember when I showed this to Watercup, he really laughed at that part, especially since he loves horror movies. And this part, because of the Super Mario World music, he thought the memes were like the head pat memes. I remember filming this part. I remember recording the audio for this part. I played so many freaking characters. I think I wanted more people to be in it, but I'm satisfied with what we got. This was meant to be a much smaller thing, but it just kind of became a live action thing. And now I've been doing movies ever since, and as I'm recording this director's cut, I'm filming the Christmas special. But you guys will hear more about that when that comes out. You're probably wondering, like, how much did I do? Well, I came up with a lot of this stuff, but as I said, me and Moomy were brainstorming as to what we could do for a parody. It was actually my aunt's idea to have Wicked Witch of West Virginia, because that's who the character is. And yeah, that's it. Bye.